A popular discussion topic in Atlas Earth, especially with newer players, is tier jumping. We discuss this frequently, and it's an accepted strategy to keep your monthly rent going up instead of taking jogs down from time to time. But how much does going to the time and effort to tier jump actually make us? In this episode, I ran the numbers, and we'll answer that for not only those of us who play in the United States, but also for those who play in the UK, Canada, South Africa, and Australia grouping. So, if I've piqued your interest, please stand by. Hey everyone, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here, once again saying thanks for dropping by. As always, I do appreciate your time. If you continue to like this kind of Atlas Earth coverage, please give the video a like and think about subscribing if you haven't. I appreciate it. Okay, the idea for this video is something we talk about a lot, especially with newer players, and with each different tier grouping, it's a little bit different of a discussion, but the whole idea to tier jumping is basically saving money. At certain tier points, everybody's rent goes down if you exceed that tier point number of parcels. And if you're not familiar with your tier chart for your area, on your boost page here, you can see in very small script, click on the hyperlink that says see rent boost outcomes, and it will take you to your tier chart. So when you exceed the tiers and go into the next tier, your rent boost goes down, and that facilitates your actual incoming rent going down. So in the big picture of things, doing tier jumps is saving enough Atlas bucks to jump from the top of your present tier all the way to what's called a break-even point within the next tier, so that you're making at least the same amount of money without losing. So that's the idea. But there's a lot of math behind that, and we generally accept the fact that it's going to make us some money overall. It's actually a little bit of a pain, or some cases a lot of a pain, to sit there and save Atlas bucks and not buy parcels for a number of weeks or months before you actually do your tier jump and jump ahead. I just haven't taken the time to do the math behind it. So there's a lot of people that say, well, it's just not even worth the time and effort because you're not going to save a whole lot. Well, I think the idea behind it all is that saving any is better than losing it, right? So making more rent is the name of the game. So why would you want to lose rent? Okay, with that said, I did the numbers, and I did the numbers for the United States, and I did the numbers for the UK, Canada, Australia, South Africa group, just to give us some comparison. Well, not really comparisons, because the math is completely different. And interestingly enough, I got into it and I was only going to do two sets, like the first two tier jumps. But then I got some interesting results and went ahead and did the third tier jump on each. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, here's a spreadsheet. I'm not going to bore you to death with it. I just wanted to show you I did it. It took me several hours to do. Like I said earlier, I was only going to do two tiers of each tier grouping. However, I came up with some interesting results that forced me to want me to go ahead and do the third, just to make sure that my theory of where this was going ended up there, just to kind of cement that. So I made up some slides to basically wrap this up in a nice, neat package. So let's jump over there. Okay, before we dive into the numbers, let's set some baselines here. How did I figure out these numbers? First of all, it's in the United States, and one parcel a day is very doable in the United States from our earning rate. Now, I know there are a lot of people that can earn more than one parcel a day, and some people play less and earn less than a parcel a day. But I think that if you are playing and you're in the United States and putting an effort into it, you should be able to get a parcel a day. So these numbers were figured at a parcel a day. Secondly, I figured them 24 hours boosted. I know theoretically it's impossible for your normal player to boost for 24 hours, but I wanted to have a good, strong, best case scenario baseline there. Now, I know Explorer Club can boost 24 hours, but that's a benefit of the Explorer Club. Did not take that into account. So, but it's boosted 24 hours. Also, at certain points within the boost tiers, it behooves you to stop and buy badges by the Tasty Wallet new user guide. Okay, so I did take that into account. So at certain levels, we're going to be talking about this theoretical person would have stopped and bought parcels, and I will point that out as we go along. Okay, jumping into the United States, the first time you're going to be really considering tier jumping is when you hit 150 parcels. That's the point in time where you look at the chart and you're like, hey, If I buy 100, that first parcel over 150, 151, my boost is going to go down from 30 times to 20 times. And then oftentimes they go to Reddit or different other social media and start asking about it. Okay, so this is also the point in time where you would stop buying parcels at 150, and you would buy your badges and make sure you got to the 31 badges so that you were getting your 15% boost. Okay, now with that said, at 150 parcels before the 31 badges, you're making about 72 cents per day. That translates to $21.60 a month. Okay, your break-even day in this tier is going to be day 60. So around 210 parcels, you're going to break even. Okay, without the tier jump, if you were just going along and buying one parcel a day, that would average out to be 62 cents per day. So you see that you're losing 10 cents per day. And that averages out to be $18.60 per month, which equates to a $3 lost rent per month. Okay. Also, I will say that if you do it faster than one parcel a day, then you're going to lose less, right? If you do it slower, you're going to lose more. That stands to reason, right? Okay, so at that point, you're sitting at about 210 parcels. You have 10 parcels to play around with before you get to the top of your next tier, and you can use those to buy them and pass some monthly challenges on the ladder. But when you hit 220, you will have also bought your 31, come up to 31 badges and be getting 15% boost. And then at that point, you will be getting about 78 cents, a little bit more per day. And that equates to $23.85 per month. Now, your break-even day in this tier is going to be day 56. Okay. Now, without the tier jump, we're talking about 71 cents per day. So you're just losing a little bit less. And that equates to $21.30 per month, or $2.55 lost rent during this month, okay, or this period of time, okay. It's obviously it's more than a month, but I broke the numbers down into a monthly portion. So, okay, now that brings you up to the next tier is going to be 290 parcels, okay. Now, at 290 parcels, you are still with the 31 badges at 15% boost. You're making about 82.5 cents per day, or $25.10 per month. Okay, your break-even day during this tier jump is day 52. Without the tier jump, you're making about 76, a little bit more than 76 cents per day, or $22.92 per month. Or what that equates to is $2.18 lost rent per month. So as you can see, you can factor that out. With that first tier jump, you're losing about $6 because it spans two months. In that second tier jump, you're losing about $5 or so, $4.50, because it spans almost 2 months. And the third tier jump, once again, almost 2 months, and you're losing about between $3.50 and $4 somewhere. So ultimately, the one takeaway I want to show you here is that the first tier, second tier, third tier, it's going down. What you're losing per month by tier jumping is going down. What your savings is going down. The tier jumping is mainly factored on your boost rate. And as you climb the charts and get more parcels, the money you earn from the game is coming less and less from your boost rate and more from the SRB. Okay, I wanted to do one other set of numbers besides just the United States, just to kind of, I thought maybe do a comparison. There really is not a whole lot of comparison because the numbers are vastly different. We all know that people outside the United States make less than what people in the United States do, mainly towards ad income being a lot more in the United States. But with that said, I thought I would have some similar takeaways by looking at the numbers, but let's go ahead and look at it. So this is the group, UK, Canada, Australia, and South Africa group. So the first point you're going to really be interested in tier jumping is at 60 parcels. And once again, we're doing a flat rate of 24 hours boosted. This time, I figured this group is making half as much as the United States. So I figured it at one parcel every other day. Once again, of course, if you're playing more games and stuff like that, you might be able to average more than that. But I figured these numbers for this grouping at one parcel every other day. So at 60 parcels and one badge, you are, with a 5% boost, you are making about 19.5 cents per day, or that factors out to $5.85 per month. Your break-even day on this tier jump between 60 and 100 is on day 30, which would put you at 90 parcels. Without the tier jump, you're making about 17 cents per day. So if you just bought a parcel every other day, didn't worry about tier jumping, then you're making about $5.10 per month, and that's 75 cents lost rent on the month. The next tier, and then of course between 90 and 100, you have 10 parcels to play around with. You can use them to buy and pass the challenge or whatever. And you make your way to 100 parcels. It's also good to point out here that Tasty Wallet's guide says at this point you should buy another 10 badges, which would put you into up to 11 badges, and that would put you in the 10% boost rate there. At that point, you are at 100 parcels, a little bit over 27 cents per day, or $8.16 per month. The break-even day for this tier jump between 100 and 150 is day 67. And without the tier jump, you're looking at almost 24 cents per day, and or $7.14 per month, or a rent loss of $1.02. So finally, the third tier I did is at 150 parcels. That comes out to just over like 30.5 cents per day, or $9.15 per month. Your break-even day on this jump, which is a kind of a, the United States tiers were kind of linear. In other words, they went up slowly. These tier jumps just have like really weird amounts of parcels in between them. Either way, this tier, the break-even day was on 48. Without the tier jump, you're looking at almost 28 cents per day and $8.37 per month, or 78 cents lost rent. Now, unlike the United States chart, I could see a clear line of the lost rent going down. And in this case, the rent's all over the place. You have 75 cents saved, you have $1, then you have 78 cents. And I didn't really have time to do the rest of those. But as you can see, I think a takeaway here is that it's just not a whole lot lost. Obviously, the longer you go out the longer you take to tier jump, the more you're going to lose. Okay, so what's the culmination, and what are my final takeaways for doing all this math? Well, I think my final takeaway is I always knew that it wasn't going to make a whole lot of difference. However, using the tier jumping method, you got to have some kind of strategy to play the game. I guess you don't. Some people are just haphazard and they just play however they want to, and that's fine. Everybody plays a little bit different. Myself, I always like to have a little bit of a strategy go into the game. Now, we can see the numbers. Tier jumping didn't make a whole lot of difference. A few bucks here, a few bucks there. But to me, that all adds up, especially when you're first starting the game. $1 here, it seems like it takes forever to get to that first dollar, or that first $5, right? And if you don't tier jump, then you've just lost $5 or whatever, a few bucks here, a few bucks there. Now, if you're outside the United States, what you save is a lot less. Okay. So maybe, I guess the biggest takeaway here is don't be exactly so worried about breaking tier if you happen to. If you do break tier on accident, then just kind of push your way towards the next tier as soon as possible. And like I said, overall, in the big picture of things, your main goal should be playing Atlas Earth steady, keeping with it, and hitting that 2x multiplier. Because once we get into that 2x multiplier, after you jump into it a little bit, then everybody's even across the globe as far as what you make. So let me know in the comments what you thought of the numbers. Are you tier jumping? Are you not worried about it? Tell me if anything surprised you. Otherwise, this has been Bronze Dragon. Hey, don't forget, we have a weekly live stream Sunday at noon Eastern time here on YouTube. Drop by for about an hour. We talk Atlas Earth, answer questions for new players, or just talk about what we've been up to. Or if something new comes out in Atlas Earth, we'll talk about that too. This has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.